All right, everyone. It's going to be weird. It's like old times. We only have two shows to talk about. What? There was no Legends this week. So, Mike, have at it, buddy.
Yeah, this is a weird week well, for a couple of reasons, some of which we'll explain in the episodes, starting with The Flash, Season 2, Episode 16, Trajectory. Deciding to blow off some steam, Barry and the team head out for a night on the town only to encounter an unexpected speedster who is up to no good. Iris is challenged by an assignment from her new boss and is surprised when friction turns to flirtation. Yeah.
There could be a lot of friction in flirtation. Just saying. But go on.
I honestly don't know how to feel about this episode. I will say this though. This is my favorite kind of filler because in the grand scheme of things, nothing really happens, but information gets revealed.
Stuff happens in the last 20 seconds.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But Brock, I'll start with you. Positives for this episode?
Positives for this episode. They showed training in an interesting way. That I thought was kind of cool. Normally, like, I miss the episodes like in the first season where they're on the runway and he's got the suit on and they're measuring stuff out, getting them to be stronger and stuff like that. I miss those. Barry understanding the fact that he's not normal and he has to get stronger and then to figure out different ways to do it. One of the big things in here that we're going to talk about is they actually had a good vibe out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's just further contemplating what the crap's going on with Zoom and but it was very good. They actually had them they did something in this episode that I think that they need to just show every now and then, and they did it a little bit sometimes in the Justice League. Them taking a freaking break when they literally can't do anything.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. All right. Cutting back in. Then there's nothing to do, so they just go for a night in the town. What is the point of driving yourself insane when you can't do anything? You literally have no way onto Earth 2, so, like, actually just take a night off. It will help. But because there's nothing going on critical, something does end up going on critical. And the good and bad about this for me was her boss. I like what his character is trying to be, but I don't like how he goes about it, if you get what I'm saying.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
He's very much trying to be J. Jonah Jameson, but he's trying a little too hard, too fast to be J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. And there's a big negative that we'll get to later.
Like I said, yeah, we'll get to the negatives, but like, yeah, I liked it that they actually showed. This is a very good kind of redeemer episode where the good guy is proven good at the end. It's a very good, like you said, it's a very good filler episode. But I got a very good laugh out of Harrison Wells when I can't remember what the quote was, but Barry thinks it's from Edgar Allan Poe, and then West and then Harry was actually talking about Kanye West. I laughed a little too hard at that.
That was good.
And Cisco, why'd you bring those drones, Cisco? We're not going to need those. You're welcome. And one last thing, we finally got to see Vibe dance. It's so little.
Yeah.
It's so little of a detail, but it's so good. Because I just needed to see it. And it made me happy just for a little bit. But what was your positives?
My positives. I like I like the levity. Um, excuse the pun, but sometimes the show moves a little too fast. There's not really enough room. There's not really enough breathing room. And this episode was good breathing room until our trajectory enters.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I like her as a villain. I like how it provides a little bit more insight into Caitlyn's backstory.
Yeah.
Or just what she's been up to in between seasons. Because we never actually saw her like interacting with people at Mercury Labs. We just know she was there.
She was there for like 1 or 2 episodes.
I think just one, and and even then, like in that scene, it was just her, and I guess the entire staff was out to lunch that day.
Yeah, because they watched the video from Harrison Wells at Mercury Labs, right?
I think so, or it was in Barry's lab.
Oh, I swore it was something. He said he didn't want to watch it, and then he ended up only watching it because he was with her. But either way, go on. Sorry to interrupt you.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, just I think what I like is every character like had their own little arc. They had something to do. Even Jessie, who left the cave to kind of live her own life. She's probably going on to do something important in the future. I'm not as familiar with Opal City in the comics, so if anyone has any ideas as to the significance of that place, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, because I'm in the same situation. I think it's the first time I've ever heard Opal City. I'm not afraid to admit when I don't know something. Please do go nuts telling us everything. If you're do it, please.
You brought up most of the positives, except for Vibe figuring out 2 things. Well, just everyone figuring out 2 things. 1, that Zoom is Jay Garrick, and 2, is where the blue lightning comes from.
Yeah, I never really thought about that ever until I noticed that his lightning was blue, but I never thought about that. That's a very good detail to know.
Like, this is definitely a turning point episode, because now things from the previous episodes make more sense. Why does, like, for example, why does Zoom want Barry's speed? And also, why was Velocity 9 killing Jay? Yeah, all that stuff is answered. And this episode at this time, I think was perfect for dropping that information.
And like we said, I don't want another freaking speedster villain, but they made a very good reason for a speedster to be there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now that's all the positive talk. Let's address the negatives.
So remember how I said next season one of my top 5 things I want is better development for Iris? Doing the same exact thing isn't better development. She's just some dude's girlfriend now. What are you gaining from making her date a person she could not stand for the past 3 episodes, and now she gets over it because he had some stroke of consciousness, maybe? Did I miss something?
I'm baffled to what the writers think what they feel is best for Iris. She's kind of suffering. She is kind of suffering in a weird way. She's suffering the same problems as both Laurel and Felicity. In that they don't know what to do with their character.
And it was a little less with Laurel and Felicity for me, but I understand what you're saying. Felicity was at least a tech person, and she had a purpose for getting information, so they went to her when they went to her. Laurel was at least a attorney that could have good story points, but when both of them are outside of that situation, they don't know what to do. I'm not a big person with a lot of stuff that like regularly happens with the Flash, but other than being Barry's girlfriend, I can't think of the top of my head a lot of stuff that Iris is known for character-wise.
Yeah, me neither.
So I think that they're just trying to, and with most shows like on Arrow, eventually they're gonna have him be with Laurel. I'm just seeing it happen because she's the Black Canary. Eventually they're gonna find some way, and it's gonna happen. That's just me. I think it's going to happen. And the Flash is something where they even talked about, like, at our wedding, make sure that we don't dance like that. And he's like, no. And she basically says it's something that she hasn't denied. They're going to have them be together at some point. It's just starting to show incredibly well that they don't know what to do with her until then. They're just trying to find a way to keep her relevant.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem. It's a problem that I've had for a long time with the CW shows. Like they will have strong female characters, but the one that they designate as like the love interest is just and trust me, we will come back to that specific point when we talk about Arrow.
Oh yes, we will.
Any other negatives that you have for this episode?
We say this, we've said it before, but I understand that Cisco was a little freaked when he saw Zoom at first. Man, you should have said something right away. You saw Zoom in a vibe. You should have said something. I understand that they had him say it when they say it to help build up that moment.
But practically speaking, it's not like he's even hiding like his power anymore. He has no excuse. Like
no, and that one was very minor. That's nitpicking for story wise. But the other one is, dude, get over yourself. That Iris's boss. For the love of God. You proved one guy was corrupt once, so then you're going to make it your life's mission to prove that everyone else is corrupt? How dumb of a character are you trying to make yourself sound? Really? I almost muted the TV until he was done talking during that whole speech. What? You're making her sound like the biggest tool douchebag on the planet. And then now Iris is going to be dating you because she's working. I don't say something because I can't.
Why? I'll just take it further. Just why does this character exist? Why do we need to have a J. Jonah Jameson / Perry White / why? Why is it that whenever comic books have a newspaper, like in their world, that like the boss has to be against the superhero? Why can't they just, I don't know, be an ally? Be like, hey, I hear this event is going down. Why don't you go down and get an interview with them? Instead of like, oh, he's evil, he's a menace, and blah, I don't trust him.
And they don't even have to be for him. Just be neutral. That's all I ask. Something happened where it's good. It's like, sure, write a paper. But just because he wasn't there for something, don't say he was purposely not there. I'm telling you, he was the one that robbed those people. We've had 2 villainous speedsters in this town, but that time it was the Flash because we have a blurry photo. And that's another thing that bugs me, but we don't need to go into it. Everyone on this freaking show has a camera capable of catching the Flash on a photo. Like, one time with Iris was something else, but some random bebopper tweener teen at a club with an iPhone caught trajectory on her phone, and she had the wherewithal while she was getting robbed to take a picture.
You know what? They did this a lot in Smallville too. It was around like season 8 or something, or around season 8 when Clark was really starting to kick up his superheroing career up a notch. He was referred to as the Blur.
Okay.
And whenever you see him in a photo, it's always his outfit at the time was like a red jacket and jeans.
Yep.
And every time like you saw a picture of him, it was a red blur in the picture. Yeah. For some reason, that's how speedsters are represented in pictures in these comic book shows.
All right. Is there any negatives that you have that I didn't say?
I think we covered them all.
Okay. I didn't mean to like steamroll the whole negatives from you, but man, did those piss me off. All right. Moving on to Arrow, we'll talk more about females being useless. As characters, not as people. I don't mean it that way. All right.
You're not sexist.
No, I'm not. Not in the slightest. Trust me, I'm all for strong female characters. I'm a very big Joss Whedon type of person in that way. But following in the events of William's kidnapping, Dark has become less powerful, but Carrie Cutter, a.k.a. Cupid, has emerged into Star City to cause chaos on the city and the Green Arrow. I started with Flash, so you start with Arrow.
This episode should have switched its A plot and its B plot. But we'll talk about the positives first. I like the B plot. I like Laurel in her natural habitat going up against Damien Dark.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, I think, really should have been titled "The People versus Damien Dark," because this was the stuff that I found the most compelling, especially the scene where Lance, Detective Lance, is the witness on the stand, and he has to confess to everything that he's done, not just to the people, but to Laurel.
Yep.
And I thought that scene was really effective.
This has been one of the best seasons for Captain Lance ever. It is his best season. It is so good. I thought season 2 was his best one when he finally helped everyone, and then it kind of downgraded in 3, but I think I like him better now than in season 2.
Yeah, because now he's fully on board Team Arrow.
Oh.
Too bad he kind of lost his job again.
I have a feeling that, well, he's suspended, and I have a feeling that they're going to be like, yes, you're under duress, but it's going to take them a while to decide that he was under duress.
Yeah, still kind of sucks for him.
It does suck, but yeah, all right.
My other positive are the flashbacks. The flashbacks like the flashbacks ever since we got rid of Conklin. That I hated that character so much. But ever since we got rid of Conklin, and ever since Ryder started becoming more of who he is, like that's when the flashbacks started getting more interesting, because we actually started going down into that cave, and we're starting to explore all that mystical, magical mumbo jumbo.
Mhm.
And again, it's certainly more compelling than. Well, we'll get to it. Brock, what are your positives?
He's so bad at a Mortal Kombat flashback when he kills that guy and his essence comes out. I'm just waiting for him. Your soul is mine. It's like you're Shang Tsung all of a sudden. But that was cool. And like they couldn't smash that idol. And just Ryder saying the only way back out of that cave is through me. So you don't got many options here. But yeah, you got to just this whole. That's one thing I really liked about Laurel was they actually showed some really human stories of people going through bad stuff, and then her helping basically dispatch the Green Arrow to go take care of the people that deserve to get their heads kicked in. It was a very good kind of like what John Schnepp talks about how well, we got a Daredevil TV show now, but like that is basically like Law and Order Hell's Kitchen. You have half of it be a court drama, and the other half, the person who deserves justice getting the crap kicked out of them. It's pretty much what the first seasons of Arrow was, and I really missed that because Katie Cassidy. Go ahead.
You know what else is a positive that I forgot to mention? Thea, like helping out Team Arrow, like just identifying the celebrities. That was great because I think we forget sometimes how young Thea's character is. So It's like, of course she would know who these people are. Of course she follows this stuff.
Yes, it shows that they can actually get that they're so well situated with characters that they can cover all these different bases. And that's another thing, like all these times, it's like she's that person that is a young one that is still just thinks it's the coolest thing in the world that she gets to be Speedy. She's such a good character. And then Blackthorn, Paul Blackthorn, for the love of God, please, when you're done on Arrow, man, you need to get more gigs. I've never seen you before Arrow. You are such a good freaking actor. And when Dark's attorney comes up to him and starts calling out BS on him, when he point blank says, "Listen, kid, I'm setting a match to my career right now and everything in my life. If I didn't think all this is true, do you think I would be destroying my reputation in front of all of you and my daughter? No." And then that guy just sits down. He had nothing else to say. Just shut him up immediately. That was so great. And listening to him make up those BS excuses and Laurel shutting him down every time. Oh, it was so good. Relevance? What is this? Sustained. Thank you. And just moving on. And I like that they had Carrie Cutter back. I like her as a character. There's a good nut job in her, and I appreciate having good nut jobs. And also the fact that I never remember this, someone actually worked their way off of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I was just like, when they said that, I'm thinking in my head, when has everyone actually worked their time off? Wow. That was okay. That was different. But yeah, and that had such good potential. And then they just, we'll get into the negatives, but they screwed the pooch at the end. And also, the fact that Diggle and Thea, just every chance they get, just, what's wrong? We need to talk. Just poking Oliver in the sides that are like, dude, not talking never goes well. We're talking. Like, no, we're not too busy. There's not information you need to go get. Talk. That's just the one thing that Diggle's always good for, to be that one, like he's always like that uncle, you know, that is gonna get you to tell him what you want him to say. But other than that, I just had there's one other negative that's really petty that I know that you're probably thinking of, but we'll get to it later. And it also showed that Dark's not completely out of it because the Four Horsemen ring, if anyone watches Supernatural, that he was just kind of twirling at the end.
Oh yeah, he's got backup plans.
He's got backup plans, but as far as like that is all right. We're gonna have a lot more negatives in this one than positives, so I'm kind of done with positives, and I don't know if you got any more.
No, we covered all the positives.
All right, I'll let you run. Go ahead.
Oh my God, where to even start? Can you take this for me? I need a minute.
Okay, I'll start with a small one. What on God's green earth was the upgrade that Cisco gave to Diggle for his helmet? They had a whole Flash episode where they talked about, I need you to upgrade my helmet. I need some help. Yeah, sure, man. I'm going to take care of it. The helmet don't look no different, and it did nothing else. What the hell was the upgrade? You made an episode of them going to Central City for 2 reasons. To take care of Shark, and he wanted a helmet upgrade. And you don't even address it. What was the point? If we go through this whole season, and he never does anything different with that helmet, I'm going to have an hour-long rant video on how pissed I am about them not doing that. Also, she has arrows that are sharp enough to cut through like Kevlar-plated metal wiring?
What?
And twice she cuts out of that. You don't rope someone up and then look away from them so they can just get away. And I'm trying so hard to get to talk about Felicity, but I just can't. It's so dumb. You're like, all right, we're going to start off season 4. We know what exactly people hated about season 3. We're not going to do that anymore. Hold on. I remembered what people didn't like about season 3. So I think the best thing for this episode is to do on steroids what people didn't like about season 3. What the hell are you gaining doing one other episode where it goes from, oh man, I loved you, Oliver. My whole life is better because of you, and I'm going to talk down the villain by describing how great our love is. Oh, but by the way, I'm going to kick you in the nuts again, and now I'm not even going to be on the team. I'm leaving.
What the hell?
Like, I'm not going to say everything. I know you have stuff to say, so I'm not going to say everything. Go.
You know what? Maybe I don't think I need to say anything because this just bubbles everything I didn't like about season 3, and I defended season 3 against all the haters. I liked the things that weren't Olicity in season 3, but this is like the biggest Vietnam flashback of everything wrong with that season. Look, we are fans of Arrow, but just because you're a fan of something doesn't mean you have to love something blindly. We are criticizing a major issue with the show because we want this series to be better. We want people to get back on board the Arrow train. That's why we do the Arrowverse after show, because we're fans of all the DC shows on the CW, and we want them all to be great. But it frustrates me when season 4 has taken so many leaps forward, and then this huge anchor drops and sets basically the whole season back.
Yeah. And we're not saying, and like what Mike just said, you love something, you admit its faults. You don't do like so many dumb, endless Facebook posts where we're like, man, there's one thing about this season I don't like. This show's always been trash. It's always going to be trash. I'm giving up on this season. There's no point in watching it anymore. You do not give up on something just because there's one detail about it in one episode you didn't like. And then when people tell you that the new season's good, all of a sudden you change your mind. And then, or you just say, no, man, there was one thing I didn't like in season 3, or it's Olicity, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if there's good other stuff. There's this one dumb thing. You can still like something and not be okay with everything on it. It's possible to find fault and not hate. Seriously. But anyways, go on. You still had more to say.
That being said, you could use that same logic when talking about Felicity and how she just basically just gave up on her life with Oliver. I mean, I see no possible like justification for anything that she's done. I get it. I get that Oliver lied about his son, but he wouldn't have done that had what's her name? Samantha?
I believe it's Samantha. Yeah.
Had Samantha not specifically asked him not to reveal the identity of William, he had no other choice. If you want to maintain a relationship with Samantha and William, he had to keep their identity safe. But she doesn't understand. She could not comprehend that, and that makes her come off so selfish. And then even to the point of like she gives up working. She gives up being on Team Arrow because I can't stand the sight of I'm so angry. I'm so angry about this. I can't even words.
And they were so, and the fact that it makes you so mad is it's so abrupt. It comes out of nowhere. This is micro freaking scopic compared to what he did or what he had to do in season 3 to take down Raish. This is microscopic. They all on that team tried to get killed on multiple occasions by Merlin. They were taken captive and almost killed by the League of Assassins because of what Oliver needed to do and what he needed to lie about. This is nowhere near like that. And she stayed with him and moved away to start a new life with him after that. This happens for a legitimate good reason from Oliver, and all of a sudden you can't take it. I can't. We need to talk about DC news because I'm done being so pissed about this.
Yeah, let's change the subject to some good things.
Yes.
Starting with this is just my favorite thing. We have a synopsis for The Magnificent Eight, Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, Episode 11. Jonah Hex finally makes his debut in this series. Okay, so when the team needs a place to hide out, Rip sets a course for the Old West. Upon arrival, they start a fight with a gang of outlaws, putting the small town in jeopardy. Luckily, an old friend of Rip's, Jonah Hex, steps in to save them.
I can't even put into words how excited I am to see Jonah Hex. And for no reason. I just love the character. I don't have any special attachment. I just, go on, keep going.
Hang on, let me just comment on this. This episode will pretty much be recreating the feel of Back to the Future Part 3, which next to the original is my favorite in the series.
Yep.
I love that movie to death.
Yes.
What else we got? There's a lot of Flash and Supergirl stuff going on. We don't have time nor the YouTube capability without getting this video removed to actually show you any of the behind the scenes stuff. But just watching some of this stuff, it looks like the episode's going to be a blast.
Yeah,
I'm still not caught up with Supergirl yet, but I'm looking forward to just watching this as like a one-shot comic.
Yeah, and that's kind of, from what I've seen, it's very much what they're treating it like. because he just shows up there for some. Also, we talked about this last week. They showed in no way possible how Barry ends up over there on this week's Flash.
Yeah, I just realized.
Are they just gonna treat like this didn't happen?
Well, I bet what could happen is since it seems like these shows run in real time, and Supergirl is on a Monday. There's some sort of meta loophole where they don't have to mention how he gets there,
but they'll mention how he got back,
or how he got back.
Oh man! And by the way, everyone, we need to remind you that we are doing an after show for just that show.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned for details on that. Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
What else? Ooh, Legend of Tomorrow finale title announced. It's going to be Legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Oh.
Yeah. Episode 16 of Legend of Tomorrow is called Legendary.
What episode
I love
is that again?
It's the season finale, episode 16.
Okay.
By the way, I keep forgetting to do this, but we got to give a shout out to the Arrowverse.com, which is basically my source for all these news stories. Like they do a great job compiling all of these different stories. It's much like Star Wars Newsnet, where they compile all the Star Wars news. Let's see, couple more things. Okay. We will talk about the next episodes coming up. We got Flash episode 17 of season 2, Flashback. Some stills have been released, and man, I'm looking forward to this one. A little bit of synopsis. After the shocking revelation that Zoom is Jay Garrick, Barry is more determined than ever to get back to Earth 2 to stop Zoom forever. Desperate to find a way to increase his speed, Barry decides to travel back in time and masquerade as his earlier self in order to get his arch nemesis, Dr. Harrison Wells, or Thawne, to teach him how to run faster. However, things don't go as planned, and Barry is stunned to face familiar foe Hartley Rathaway, as well as old friend Eddie Thawne. Mm-hmm. Iris makes peace with her past in order to embrace her future. Yeah, this one's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. And then they said in a preview, I believe it was like some kind of clip where he knows, like Wells knows that he's from the future.
Oh, that's
like he could just tell something's different. There was some clip in something, but yeah.
And then finally, in terms of news, before we go on to a little bit of predictions, season 4, episode 17 is called Beacon of Hope, and it features the Bug-Eyed Bandit. So Brie Larson breaks out of jail and turns up at Palmer Tech, threatening to kill everyone unless she gets the biochip that is implanted in Felicity's spine. When Oliver realizes that Felicity, Thea, and Donna are trapped in Palmer Tech with everyone else, he looks to a surprising ally to help Team Arrow save the day. I'm pretty sure, well, it's been confirmed if you saw the preview, that surprise ally is going to be Curtis, because we see him in the cave.
Yep.
I wonder if Curtis is going to, at least temporarily, replace Felicity as the tech guru.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance, because while she's having her little piss fit, someone's going to have to help him.
And plus, he's fun.
Yeah.
He's got a very jovial personality to him.
Yeah, he's a very good character.
Speaking of good characters, in Arrow tradition, someone's not going to make it out of the season alive. So, time to play Who's in the Grave?
I'm telling you, I'm not changing my mind. I got Curtis. I love him as a character. I love the actor's doing great. I love what he brings, but man, part of me thinks that, and you almost just helped me a little bit again. I think that him helping Team Arrow for a little bit is going to kind of sink her coming back because of him being knocked out. Mike, can you hear me, buddy? Mike?
Oh, hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
You're cutting out.
Can you repeat?
I'm going to wait until I could get it. And he's gone. Dang it.
Hello?
And he's here. Baby?
Uh, Hopefully.
Say something.
Give me something.
Okay, all right. You're there. You're just a little delayed, but we could deal with it. If you want to get your thing back up.
Yeah, you just edit the space out.
Yeah, all right. As soon as you got your thing back up, I'll re-say what I was going to say.
All right.
I kind of figured I was going to lose you because your picture started fading and it was sitting still. Uh-oh. I'm not hearing any ambient background noise.
I got nervous because I thought...
No, not again. Not again.
I thought at first was in.
Okay.
So...
Oh, man. Now
I'm just going to keep spouting. I'm just going to keep spouting just to see if like you can hear me.
Okay.
Watermelon. Blah, blah, blah.
I can still hear you. We'll just have to be really quick about this ending part.
Yeah.
All right. As soon as you got your little finger back up.
Sure thing. I've got the spinning wheel of death, and it's being really annoying because I want to wrap this up. Because now,
if I ever get
my computer's just like tonight.
If I ever get the ambition, I'm going to make a blooper reel of all of us trying to record this stuff. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Max can be a real pain in the ass.
That's what I've heard. It's like, you're talking with a PC person. I ain't going to let that happen.
All right, you were saying?
All right. Curtis, and you just gave me another new reason. If he starts helping Team Arrow, and then, because Felicity calls it quits, and he gets killed because he's helping Team Arrow, Felicity's going to want back in.
Yeah.
Just saying, the evidence is starting to pile up. You thought of the idea in the first place, but the evidence is really starting to pile.
On the other hand, the evidence is also starting to pile back onto Lance after this episode.
I know, man, but
the
same hocus crap with Thea and with Felicity.
Look, all being said, I don't want anyone to die this season.
No.
But I blame the writers for putting that goddamn flash forward. So now it's always gonna be like in the back of my mind.
How many more episodes do we have left?
Until the grave.
Yeah.
Okay, in the season overall, there are 23 episodes, but from what I've been hearing online, we're going to find out who's in the grave, either episode 18 or 19.
So we're like 2 or 3 episodes away.
Yep.
Oh.
It's getting closer.
Oh boy. All right.
Wait. There's one more piece of news that I saw on John Wesley Shipp's Facebook, that he is coming back for. I don't know if it's exactly the season finale, but he'll be back towards the end of the season.
Is it maybe because he's in a cage and he can't be out until then?
Possibly.
I'm just saying. But anyways, you said Lance, I said Curtis. There's a report going around that they think it's going to be Laurel because the 18th episode is called Canary Cry. But part of me thinks that that's just because it's going to be a Canary-centric episode.
Probably.
And it would be really cool if some accident happened where she actually does the Canary Cry through like her vocal cords because some weird accident happened.
That would be neat.
Like that collar, she's wearing it, and some weird freak explosion like modifies her vocal cords to where she can do it without the collar.
Remember, there is a king shark in this universe, so nothing is off the table.
That is going to be our ongoing excuse whenever someone says something can't happen.
Marvel gets a talking raccoon. DC gets a giant king shark.
And Killer Croc, but I can almost guarantee we're never going to see Killer Croc. But yeah, all right, that's my prediction. And you said Lance, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any predictions to do for the Flash?
At this point, I don't think so. Except for the question mark of, is Henry the Man in the Mask?
I'm starting to think it is. And like, I was trying to talk with somebody yesterday about the ending of the Flash, where they're like, okay, wait. So does that mean Jay Garrick was never Jay Garrick, and he was the entire time it was Hunter Zolomon? Did he just get the helmet and the Flash suit from somebody else? Because we have no way of proving if that scene was ever actually real when he said that. It could have just been how he was describing it in his head when he showed Zoom killing Jay or taking his speed.
There's a whole rabbit hole down with that.
I turn into that guy from the Discovery Planet with aliens, but I just go comics.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't know who else could be in that mask. I really don't at this point, unless that's actually Jay Garrick.
That would be quite the twist.
I don't know. That freaking man in that mask has got me more confused than the Grave does. And they introduced that way later in the season than they did the Grave.
I know, right?
But anyways, all right. Is there any predictions you want to make before we end it?
Honestly, I think we covered the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a kind of prediction. Do you think Vibe will have a costume by the end of the season?
I think you will have the inclination to make one by the end of the season.
Okay.
I don't think you'll have one yet, but I don't see them getting through season 3 without him having some sort of get up. So I think that he's gonna start being like, because something's gonna bug me like, man, I've only got these goggles and that's it. I want a suit. I made Barry a suit. I make everyone else these freaking suits.
Where's my suit?
Exactly. Like, he made a new one.
I hope he says it in that exact tone.
Like, no, I want it to be like exactly how you said it, but like he's going over some list of making all these upgrades for people, and then it finally just dawns on him, like he drops the pen or whatever he's working on. I don't got a suit. I want a suit. And then he just doesn't do whatever they asked him to do, and when they finally come back to be like, Cisco, where is it? It's not there, but you got to look at this. They knocked it out of the park getting Carlos Valdez to play that part. He's so good.
Yeah, he is crushing it.
All right, everyone. I'm partially still living off a little bit of bad sleep because I just got back from seeing BVS again.
Yeah, is this your second watch?
It was my second watch, and I watched it with a person who's old enough to be my dad. So he's a very, very, very old school comic book guy. I won't say what the ending of BVS is, but it to a point kind of irritated him. But not that it happened. It's just about how it would happen. Just irritated. But he loved the movie. I'm just making the point that there's a person as a very old school comic book fan that is probably a 30-year gap between me and him. We both very much like this movie.
And it looks like it's going to make a killing at the box office, too.
Yes. People, I tell this to everyone. Just because someone else doesn't like something doesn't mean that you won't like it. Make your own freaking opinion. But this is not that show. We can rant about that another time. I'm Brock Emmerich. Thank you very much for watching us. You can find me at WayneTech7 on Twitter and on the Geeks and Gamers page and on Sons and Daughters of AMC. I have another channel that I started where I'm starting to make AMVs. So if you want to look at that, it's Organoid Zero on Twitter, on YouTube. I've only made one video, but if you want to look at it, go look at it. It's hand grenade. It's Ruby AMV hand grenade. It's a song by Thousand Foot Crutch. I got really bored with editing. I gave it a shot. So if you want to look at it, go ahead. Mike, where can I find you?
You can find me at Captain K482 on Twitter. I am an admin of Geeks and Gamers and the Sons and Daughters of Movie Talk. I wrote a review for Batman v Superman after my second watch of the film. It's up on Geeks and Gamers right now. Go check that out. Go sign up for the Geek Boards because that place is on fire. Yes. I try to get in there as often as I can. There's a bunch of different conversations. Pick one and have a blast. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe to the Geeks and Gamers YouTube channel. We got the Arrowverse after show, We Are Geek, Ask an Admin, and various reviews, vlogs, and what have you.
And something that's possibly going to be coming up very soon that me and Mike just talked about.
Oh yeah, we have plans, devious plans.
All right, everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.